Hello. I wonder what's in this box. I wonder why this particular box is so much larger than any of the other boxes we've used in the past. I wonder if this box is so big because it's part of something really big and important to remember about God's love for us. Let's take a look and see what's inside. It looks like sand. This must be the desert box. And this must be the desert. It's not the whole desert. It's only a piece of the desert. We need part of the desert in our room because so many important things happen there to God's people. The desert is a dangerous place. It almost never rains in the desert, so it's very hard for anything to grow there or to find any water to drink. People die without food and water. When the winds come, it blows the sand and the shape of the desert changes. People lose their way. The desert is a dangerous place. You need to be ready to go into the desert. The people of God were living in this place where the rain did not come. The crops had no water, so they could not grow. There was no grain to grind to make bread. Everyone was hungry. The children cried in their sleep, so their mothers and fathers decided to take the children and go to a new land where there was food. They had to go. Even though it was across the desert, they began their journey. It was hard in the desert, but they kept going to the land of Egypt. In the land of Egypt, the king was called Pharaoh. When the people came to the land of Egypt, they found food and work, but the Pharaoh trapped them. They could not go home again. They had to do what the Pharaoh said. They had to live where the Pharaoh said. They had to get up and go where the Pharaoh said. They had to go to bed when the Pharaoh said. They had to eat what the Pharaoh said. They had to do the work the Pharaoh said. They had to do everything the Pharaoh said. They were slaves. One of the people, whose name was Moses, came and said, "Let my people go." The Pharaoh said, "No." Moses went back many times to tell the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." But the Pharaoh always said, "No." Then many strange things happened in the land, but the Pharaoh always said, "No." Then something terrible happened. The oldest boy in each Egyptian family died, even the family of the Pharaoh. The oldest boys in the families of the people of God did not die, because the people made a mark on their doors. They put the blood of the lamb there, and the angel of death passed over them. When Moses went back this time and said, "Let my people go," the Pharaoh said, "Yes." The people began to hurry to get everything ready. They packed all they could carry, and they baked bread for the journey. There was no time to put leaven in the bread, so it would swell up and get big and fluffy like the bread you buy in the store. It was flat. You can still eat this bread today. Whenever you taste it, it still tastes like this story. The people went as fast as they could. They were afraid that Pharaoh would change his mind. Suddenly, they heard a sound they did not want to hear. The ground began to shake, and Pharaoh's army was coming after them. The beating of the horses' hooves and the rolling of the chariot sounded like thunder. The army of the Pharaoh pushed the people against the water. They did not know what to do. Then God came so close to Moses, and Moses came so close to God, that he knew how to take the people through the water into freedom. This one looks so scared, he can barely move. This one looks like he's running. This one is happy. This one seems confused. When all the people were safe on the other side, the water closed behind them, and they were free. The army of the Pharaoh could not get them. Now all the people were free on the other side. They were so happy, they just had to give thanks to God. Miriam, the sister of Moses, led the dancing. I wonder what part of this story you like best. I wonder what part of the story is the most important. I wonder what part of the story is about you, or who you are in the story. I wonder if there's any part of the story we can leave out and still have all the story we need. This is like the flatbread the people made so quickly. You can still eat it today. Whenever you taste this bread, you taste this story. This is the bread of the Passover feast. It is called matzah. If I were to eat a piece now, I could taste the story as I eat it. I could taste how the people went through the water into freedom. I could almost taste their excitement. Yes, there's nothing in this bread except flour and water. They had to hurry. They had no leaven in the bread to make it get big and fluffy like the bread you buy in the store. This is unleavened bread. What you taste is the story. I wonder what it would be like to eat unleavened bread every day. I wonder what it would be like to taste and to remember this story of the desert and God's saving grace. I wonder if this is the end of the story or the beginning of another story.